All right, welcome to Getting Started video number 5, Campaigns. You're going to want to pay close attention here because this is arguably Systematic Revenue's most important and powerful tool. It's the feature that allows you to choreograph automated, multi-step, short or long-term sales, marketing, nurturing, and follow-up action sequences. In a nutshell, campaigns are the backbone of marketing automation. In this video, we're going to construct a simple campaign using what we've created and learned to date, so hopefully you've completed our 4 prior exercises. Notice we're beginning the video from the Campaigns window. Much like Systematic Revenue's other header menu choices, campaigns can be accessed from anywhere in the application. Similar to the Email Templates library and Online Forms library, the main Campaigns window displays every campaign in your application. It gives you at-a-glance information on individual campaigns, telling you how many contacts are associated with them, their type, group, and status. It's important to note here that there are effectively 2 types of campaigns in Systematic Revenue: the regular campaign and the event-based campaign. Both are constructed similarly. Where they differ, however, is in their application. An event-based campaign is typically used in association with a specific event that occurs on a particular time and date. For example, a birthday, an anniversary, a scheduled webinar, a conference, a networking event, an open house, etc. A regular campaign is pretty much the opposite. It'll be set up to run over a certain period of time, but more often than not, it won't be event-specific. That being said, let's build a simple 2-step regular campaign incorporating the customer survey web form and email templates we previously created. If you haven't done those yet, please go back and watch videos 3 and 4 before continuing. To begin, hover over the green Create Campaign button and select Regular Campaign from the drop-down menu that appears. This opens Systematic Revenue's Campaign Wizard. By now, you should be familiar with the general look and feel of Systematic Revenue's wizards. The primary difference in this particular Step 1 is the Nurturing Campaign radio button selection. A nurturing campaign is one whose main purpose is to develop or cement contact relationships over time. We're going to leave that button deselected for this example. Let's name our campaign Survey Form Test and select Customers from the drop-down group selection. Leave the default status set to active and click Next Step. Step 2 of the Campaign Wizard is where you add your first and potentially all campaign steps. Open the Add a New Step drop-down menu and select Send an Email. The window that opens allows you to set the day you want this email to be sent. In this instance, because we're starting our campaign with this action, we want it to occur on day 1. Subsequent actions could be set to occur any number of days after day 1. Open the drop-down Choose Email Template menu, which, by the way, is mandatory, and select Survey Test 1, the first of 2 email templates we created in the previous tutorial. The next option allows you to select who the email will be sent from. If Systematic Revenue is set up with multiple users and you want this message to come from one in particular, then you'd open the User drop-down menu, select their name, and enable the radio button. Otherwise, it defaults to the user or sales rep associated with the contact recipient. Click Save this action and you'll be prompted to add another step. Since the sample campaign is a 2-step campaign, we'll add our second step now. As before, open the Add a New Step drop-down menu and select Create a Task. This opens a window similar to the one used for setting up Step 1. This action we want to set to run on day 7. And in the What's the Task window, type As with our first action, this task will be assigned to the Contacts sales rep, and in the Mandatory Task category, open the menu and choose Call. We'll be covering tasks in greater detail in an upcoming tutorial, so don't panic if you don't fully understand the concept at this point. Click Save this action again, and now when the Add Steps window appears, click Create Campaign. Notice it now appears at the top of the Campaign Libraries window. At this point, you might be wondering about that Thanks for the Feedback email template we created for the survey web form in the previous tutorial, and why we didn't include it as an action step in this campaign. Well, we are going to use it, But since it's thanking a customer for having completed the survey, we can't just program it to go out X number of days into the campaign, assuming that they will have completed the survey by that time. So what we're going to do is open our survey test web form and set up a new action to occur when a customer hits the submit button. Click on Set Up Actions to open the form's Set Up Actions window. Here you'll see the Add Tag action we created when we built the form. Now open the Choose Actions menu and select Send an Email. From the Choose Email Template menu, choose Survey Test 2. That's our thank you message. Leave the Send From user settings as is and enable the Only Run Once radio button. That means that should your contact go back and submit the survey form a second time, the email will only be sent the first time they complete the form. Now click Add this action, and after confirming the action is now tied to the form, click Save Changes. We'll now return to the campaigns library and open the survey form test campaign we just created. Take note of a couple of things. First, if you decide you want to add additional steps to this or any campaign, you can do so by simply opening the Select a Step menu and choosing a new action. The process at this point is virtually identical to what we went through when creating the first two steps of this campaign. You can also edit or delete campaign steps by clicking on the appropriate icon to the right of the step description. Second, if you want to stop or delete a campaign, click on the appropriate link at the bottom of the right side column of the campaign info. A word of caution here. Before doing either, be sure the campaign isn't actively assigned to any contacts. And on that subject, there are two ways to manually assign campaigns to systematic revenue contacts. One way is to select one or more contacts from the contacts window using any of the filter and search methods you learned in Getting Started video number 2. In this example, I'll just select all, and then go to Start Campaign and select Start a Regular Campaign from the drop-down menu. Doing so opens the first of 3 windows. Here, as you can see, is where you confirm everyone you previously selected. Click Next Step. The next window presents you with a list of all regular campaigns in your library. Choose one, and then click Next Step. The third window is where you select when you want the campaign to start, right away or at a future date and time. Selecting Future Date and Time presents you with Calendar and Time of Day drop-down menus. Simply plug in your preferred numbers and finish the process by clicking on Start Campaign. You can also manually assign a campaign from within an individual contact record. Begin by hovering your mouse pointer over Quick Actions, then select Start a Regular Campaign from the drop-down menu that appears, and you'll be presented with the exact same 3-step assignment process as the one I just covered. We'll click on Next Step, we'll select Survey Form Test Campaign, click on Next Step, and we're going to begin this campaign immediately so that I can show you a couple of additional things. Note that the recent activity in my contact record has been updated to show that the campaign Survey Form Test has now started. Also note that in the additional tabs under Campaigns, there is now one campaign running. If we open this tab, you'll see that it is in fact the Survey Form Test campaign. And as this campaign runs, you'll be able to see each step as it's completed. And when we return to the recent activity window, you can now see that the first email in our campaign, Doug, your opinion does matter, has already been sent out. This is cool beyond anything you can imagine, and we're only scratching the surface of what campaigns can do. Imagine some of the most elaborate marketing, follow-up, and promotional programs you might ever want to implement in your business, and visualize how they could actually be put into play using campaigns. That wraps up this session. Stay tuned for our next Getting Started video where we explore in greater detail Systematic Revenue's dashboard. Until then, take care and keep experimenting. Talk to you soon.